Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every life when the world seems heavy, when the road seems endless, and the heart feels tired. And in that moment, we face a choice to surrender to the weight of life, or to rise with a positive spirit that refuses to be broken. A positive mental attitude does not mean ignoring pain. It does not mean pretending everything is fine. It means training your mind to see the possible even in the midst of difficulty. It means choosing to believe that even in your darkest chapter, the story is not over yet. The first step is to honor your story. Everything you have lived through has brought you here. Every scar is a reminder that you survived. The world may try to define you by your past, but you are not your pain. You are your power. Learn to say to yourself, I have earned my strength. The second step is to choose your language with care. The words you speak to yourself become the house you live in. When you wake up in the morning, speak courage. Speak grace. Speak hope. Do not curse your life with negativity. Bless it with belief. You deserve to hear your own voice lifting you up. The third step is courage, not the loud kind, not the heroic kind, but the quiet courage that says, I will try again today, even on the days your hands shake, even on the days your dreams feel far. Courage is not about being fearless. It is about walking forward while fear rides on your shoulder, but you move anyway. The fourth step is to keep your light on. The world can be dark. People can disappoint you. Circumstances can break your heart. But never hand the world the power to dim your soul. Protect your joy like something sacred, because it is. The fifth step is gratitude. Gratitude is not just saying thank you. It is seeing beauty in what you have, even when it is small. Look around. There is always something to honor: your breath, your growth, your ability to begin again. Gratitude turns survival into celebration. And finally, carry love with you. Love yourself enough to rest when needed. Love others enough to forgive without allowing harm. Love life enough to show up again and again and again. A positive mental attitude is not a gift. It is a practice. It is a quiet agreement you make with your soul. No matter how hard it gets, I will not quit myself. So stand tall. Speak kindly. Walk with courage. Keep your light on, and let your spirit remain unbreakable, because you, my friend, are stronger than the storm. Honor your story means to look at your life as something meaningful, something worthy, something that was never accidental. Your story has chapters of joy and chapters of pain, chapters where you stood tall and chapters where you struggled to rise. Yet every part of it belongs to you. And every part of it has shaped the strength you carry today. So many people walk through life trying to hide where they have been, ashamed of mistakes, of heartbreaks, of failures, of experiences they wish could be erased. But your life is not a script to edit. It is a journey to understand. When you honor your story, you stop pretending to be someone else. You stop wishing to trade places with another person. You recognize that the path you walked, no matter how uneven or heavy, brought your wisdom, your depth, your resilience. The scars you carry are not marks of weakness. They are proof that life tested you and you are still here. There were moments where you thought you would break. Times where you questioned your worth. Days where the world felt loud and your heart felt tired. But you lived through those moments, and living through them has given you a kind of strength that can't be taught in books or speeches. It comes from experience. It comes from surviving what you never imagined you could. Sometimes we forget to give ourselves credit for what we've endured. We look at others and admire their confidence, their success, their calm, but we do not see the nights they cried, the fears they fought, the doubts they battled silently. Everyone has walked through storms. Everyone has had moments of collapse and rebuilding. You are not alone in your struggles, and you never were. To honor your story means to stop fighting your own past. Stop trying to bury what shaped you. There may be chapters that still ache when you think of them. There may be memories that feel unfinished, or conversations that you carry inside your chest because they never happened. Healing is not about erasing what happened. Healing is about making peace with it. You can look back at your younger self and say, "You did what you could with what you knew, and you survived." That is not weakness. That is courage. There may be people who tried to define you based on who you were at your lowest moments. There may be voices that tried to tell you that you were not enough. But those voices do not get to narrate your story. You get to narrate your story. You get to decide what meaning your experiences hold. You get to decide how you will carry them forward. Some chapters are heavy because they taught you lessons you did not want, but needed. Some chapters are beautiful because they reminded you that joy still exists. Some chapters are quiet, where not much happened, but everything changed inside you. All of it belongs. You are allowed to look at your past without shame. You are allowed to acknowledge your mistakes without letting them define you. You are allowed to embrace every version of yourself that existed along the way. The version that was lost. The version that was hurting. The version that was hopeful. The version that was growing in ways you did not yet recognize. Every version contributed to the person who stands in this moment. When you honor your story, you stop running from yourself. You walk with yourself. You begin to understand that every challenge shaped your endurance. Every heartbreak opened your empathy. Every failure redirected your path. Every disappointment strengthened your ability to stand again. You are not fragile. You are layered. You are textured. You are someone who has lived and felt deeply. You were not meant to be perfect. You were meant to be real. And real life is full of complexities, emotions, breakthroughs, setbacks, restarts, lessons, and growth. Your story is not over. You are still writing it. You are still discovering what it means to be you. The journey continues, and with each step, you carry everything you have survived, everything you have learned, everything that has shaped your heart into the strength it now holds. Choose your words carefully, because every word you speak shapes the world you live in. The language you use has power, even when spoken only in your mind. Your thoughts speak to your spirit, and your spirit listens. If you constantly speak to yourself with criticism, judgment, harshness, and doubt, your heart begins to believe those words and respond accordingly. But when you speak with kindness, affirmation, strength, and hope, your inner world becomes a place where growth is possible. Words are not just sounds, they are seeds. Whatever you speak consistently will begin to grow inside you. If you tell yourself you are not enough, you will shrink your own potential. If you tell yourself you are capable, you create the space to rise. Many people underestimate how deeply self-talk influences confidence. They assume confidence comes from achievements, validation, or talent. But confidence often begins with how you speak to yourself when no one is listening. Confidence is born from the quiet sentences you repeat every day. I can do this. I am learning. I am growing. I can handle what comes my way. These phrases become the soil in which resilience is planted. They reinforce your ability to take another step even when life feels overwhelming. The way you talk to yourself in difficult times matters even more than the way you talk to yourself when everything is going well. Hard moments reveal whether your words support you or weaken you. It is easy to speak kindly to others, Many people know how to encourage, uplift, and support friends. But when they face themselves, they use a different tone. They say things to themselves they would never say to someone they care about. They call themselves failures for making mistakes. They criticize themselves for not being perfect. They judge themselves for being human. Choosing your words carefully requires learning how to be gentle with yourself. It means speaking to yourself with the same compassion you would offer someone you love. But choosing your words carefully also means paying attention to the words you speak into your environment. The way you speak about your life influences how you experience it. If you constantly say, "Everything always goes wrong," you will notice every problem more sharply and overlook every blessing. If you say, "Nothing works out for me," your mind will search for proof of that belief. The world often reflects what we say about it. When you shift your language to possibility, your reality begins to shift with it. Instead of saying, "I can't," you begin saying, "I'm learning." Instead of saying, "Life is unfair," you begin saying, "I am growing through this." This shift is subtle, but it is powerful. Words also impact the way we interact with others. A single sentence can heal, and a single sentence can wound. There are moments when someone speaks a gentle encouragement at exactly the right time, and it becomes something you carry for years. There are also moments when someone speaks carelessly, and those words become a burden on your heart. Choosing your words carefully means becoming aware of the weight your voice carries. You never know what someone else is carrying, what silent battles they are fighting, what memories they are trying to forget. Your words can either add to their burden or help lift it. Sometimes silence is more powerful than speaking. Not every emotion needs to be expressed the moment it rises. Not every thought deserves to be said out loud. Choosing your words carefully means learning when to speak and when to pause. When emotions are high, words can cut deeper. Taking a moment to breathe before responding can protect relationships, protect your peace, and protect your growth. Wisdom grows in the space between thought and speech. Choosing your words carefully is not about being perfect. It is about being intentional. It is about recognizing that every word leaves an imprint. The way you speak shapes how you feel, how you act, and how you view yourself. The world can be harsh enough on its own. Do not let your own voice become another source of harm. Let your words be a source of courage. Let them remind you of your strength. Let them remind you of who you are becoming. Let them lift you instead of limiting you. Stand tall, even when you're shaking, because strength is not always the absence of fear or doubt. True strength often exists in the moments when your legs feel unsteady, when your hands tremble, and when your heart pounds with uncertainty. Life will test you in ways you cannot predict, and the storms that come may make you question your ability to keep moving forward. There will be moments when everything inside you wants to collapse, when the weight of responsibility, expectation, or disappointment threatens to pull you under. Yet standing tall is not about never feeling fear. It is about acknowledging that fear, facing it, and choosing to move forward anyway. Every person who has achieved greatness has experienced these moments of trembling and uncertainty. Yet what separated them was the decision to rise, even when it was difficult. Shaking does not mean weakness. Trembling hands, a quivering voice, or a racing heart are not signs of inadequacy. They are signs of life, signs of passion, signs of courage. Often people believe they must be composed, flawless, or unshakable to succeed. They wait until they feel completely ready before taking action, and in that waiting, opportunity passes them by. True courage is not about waiting until you feel confident. It is about taking the step forward while the fear is present, while the anxiety is real, while your mind is telling you to retreat. Standing tall while shaking shows the world, and more importantly, yourself, that your determination is stronger than your fear. Life will challenge you in ways that make you doubt yourself, make you question your worth, and make you feel small. Challenges will arrive unannounced in the form of heartbreak, failure, loss, or disappointment. When the ground beneath you feels unstable, standing tall requires more than physical posture. It requires inner resilience. It requires a quiet conversation with your own spirit, reminding yourself that even if you fall, you are capable of rising. It is a commitment to keep moving forward, no matter how many times you stumble. Every step you take while your hands shake, every decision you make while your heart races is a testament to your ability to endure, to persevere, and to triumph over fear. Shaking is also a reminder that you are human. You are not meant to be invincible. You are meant to experience, to feel, to grow, and to learn through adversity. The moments when you feel most vulnerable are often the moments when you are developing the deepest resilience. The more you practice standing tall through discomfort, the stronger your mind and spirit become. Fear becomes less intimidating, and your courage becomes habitual. Over time, you will find that even when uncertainty arrives, you carry the inner knowledge that you can handle it because you have done so before. Support can help you stand taller when you are shaking, but true strength comes from within. There will be times when no one else can carry your burdens for you, when you must find the courage to stand on your own 2 feet. In these moments, look to the core of your being. Remember what you have overcome in the past. Recall the moments when you thought you could not continue, yet you did. Those experiences are proof of your endurance, proof of your capacity to rise. Standing tall while shaking is a declaration that no matter how hard life pushes, you will not surrender. You will not be defined by fear. You will continue even when trembling. Sometimes, standing tall requires quiet persistence rather than grand gestures. It is not always about dramatic displays of courage. Often, it is about showing up each day, continuing despite uncertainty, facing challenges without guarantee of success, and maintaining your integrity even when the path is unclear. It is in these consistent choices that unshakable strength is forged. Each time you stand, even while shaking, your foundation becomes more solid. Your confidence grows, your resilience expands, and your spirit hardens, not in rigidity, but in flexibility capable of bending without breaking. Standing tall is also about presence. When your body, mind, and heart are aligned even in the midst of fear, you exude a quiet power that inspires others. People notice the determination in your stance, the courage in your gaze, and the strength in your voice. Even if they do not understand what you are facing internally, your choice to stand tall becomes a beacon of hope. Your trembling hands tell a story, your racing heart tells a story, and the decision to continue tells a story that the human spirit is capable of extraordinary endurance, that courage is not defined by perfection, and that the greatest victories are often won by those who continue to rise. Even when they are shaking, keep your light on, because the world is full of shadows, doubt, and uncertainty, and your inner light is the compass that guides you through the darkness. There will be times when circumstances feel overwhelming, when challenges arrive faster than you can manage, and when the noise of negativity threatens to drown out your sense of purpose. In those moments, keeping your light on is not simply about optimism. It is an act of courage. It is a conscious choice to remain visible, to remain hopeful, to remain yourself even when external forces try to convince you otherwise. Your light is a reflection of your spirit, and allowing it to shine is a declaration that no matter what happens around you, you refuse to be consumed by darkness. Life will often attempt to dim your light. There will be people who try to bring you down, circumstances that seem unfair, and moments that feel impossibly heavy. Critics, doubters, and even well-meaning advisors may suggest that you tone down your uniqueness, quiet your ambitions, or conform to expectations that do not serve your growth. But your light is not something to hide. It is a source of guidance for yourself and others. When you keep your light on, you resist the pull of conformity and negativity. You choose to remain authentic in a world that constantly pressures you to be anything other than who you are. Every act of keeping your light on is a testament to your resilience, your self-respect, and your dedication to growth. Keeping your light on does not mean you will never experience fear or sadness. It does not mean you will always feel confident or strong. On the contrary, there will be nights when your heart feels heavy, days when your mind races with uncertainty, and moments when doubt threatens to overwhelm you. Yet even in those times, your light can still shine. Sometimes it will be a flicker, barely noticeable to others, but that is enough. The persistence of even a small flame can illuminate a path that might otherwise remain unseen. The act of keeping your light on is not measured by brightness or perfection. It is measured by the refusal to allow darkness to claim your spirit. Your light is also a beacon for others. People around you are observing, often more closely than you realize. They see your courage, your optimism, and your willingness to remain visible, even when life is difficult. They draw inspiration from your perseverance, even if you do not speak a word. By keeping your light on, you create a space where others feel permitted to shine as well. You remind those who may have dimmed their own light that it is possible to rise again, to hope again, and to continue walking forward. Your resilience becomes contagious, your presence a source of comfort, and your example a guide for those who are searching for a way through their own darkness. Keeping your light on also requires self-care and intentionality. Light cannot shine endlessly without nourishment. You must feed your mind with hope, your heart with courage, and your spirit with purpose. Surround yourself with people, experiences, and practices that nurture your light rather than diminish it. Protect your energy from negativity that seeks to drain you. Engage in reflection, gratitude, and mindful practices that allow your light to grow steadily rather than flicker sporadically. Keeping your light on is not a passive act. It is an ongoing commitment to yourself and to the world around you. Even when you feel isolated, when it seems like no one notices, when recognition or validation is absent, your light still matters. The universe responds to the energy you carry, and your presence creates ripples beyond what you can perceive. Your consistency, your courage, and your dedication to remaining visible in the face of adversity plant seeds of hope, change, and inspiration. Every decision to continue radiating your unique light builds strength and character, even when it feels exhausting or thankless. Those who eventually cross your path will benefit from the glow you maintained during times when it felt impossible. Keeping your light on is ultimately an act of defiance against despair. It is a choice to remain true to yourself, to persist, and to influence the world positively despite challenges. It is a commitment to your own potential and to the people who may be quietly inspired by your example. Even when storms rage, when doubt clouds your vision, When pain threatens to overwhelm you, your light is a promise that you are still here, still trying, still shining, and still capable of illuminating the way forward for yourself and others.